What is up, YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video we are talking about the Nintendo 3DS line and what's up with the name. So if you like games, consoles, product reviews, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. With that being said, let's hop into it. Okay, so I have 4 different consoles with the same exact name. Well, almost the same exact name. We're going to talk about these a little bit. But first off, I wanted to say, what was Nintendo thinking? Like, I've been thinking about a video kind of like this, and I never fully did it. But now here I am. And this is one that I wondered, what was Nintendo really thinking? Like, they put out a console, then came up with another console that was named based on that console, and it just didn't go well with them. Let's start with talking about the Wii and the Wii U. Now, the Wii sold well, very well, really good for Nintendo, probably, if not, Nintendo's top seller. But then they released the Wii U, and what did everyone think? Oh, that just goes with my Wii, I don't need to buy it, I'm not interested in it, blah blah blah, same thing. That's one thing that Nintendo really messed up on. And we saw them completely step away from that name with the Switch, and that really changed things up for them. But the Wii U and the Wii, it's not the first time, and they're still doing it to this day. It's not the first time that they've named something badly or marketing something badly. Like, if I owned a Wii and I was an old person and I saw a Wii U come out, I'd say, oh, I already have a Wii, I don't need that thing. And a lot of people were kind of that way, which worked out for me because, well, I got the games that I wanted and they were cheap for the most part, except when someone was like, oh, these are hard to find, and I'm like, no, they're not, come on. But that's what I'm saying, Nintendo did a bad job marketing. Have they done bad jobs marketing before? Yes, like, look at the VirtualBoy. Now, that's not necessarily the marketing department's fault that it was all red, but I mean, it was something to be marketed of this virtual reality thing that was killer and very awesome, and we ended up with the VirtualBoy. You guys know what that is, and you know that that induced headaches. It induced headaches. But we're not talking specifically about either one of these consoles or these lines of consoles per se. Today, I wanted to talk about the 3DS. Well, or the 2DS. Or was it the 3DS XL? 2D XL? Did anybody say the new 3DS? Or maybe the new 3DS XL? Oh, well, don't forget about the new 2DS XL. Yes, those are all named of the same, essentially, line of handhelds that Nintendo did. I've got 4 of them here. First off, we've got the 2DS XL. Does not do 3D and doesn't close, which is cool. It feels great in your hand. Like, literally, this, I mean, I could play like this and be comfortable for hours. You've got both screens here. The downside is it doesn't fold, which means your screens go unprotected, especially if you drop this thing. Also, this thing's not going in a pocket. Neither does it do 3D or really have stereo sound. You've only got the one speaker up there, but other than that, it does everything that all these other consoles do, minus, well, the folding and the 3DS and the sound, if you really care all that much about that, which I do sometimes, depending on what it is. Next off, going on that line, trying not to drop all this stuff, I've got the new 3DS XL, or 2DS XL. I'm already saying it wrong. I don't have the 2DS XL because I wasn't wanting to buy one until I got one for cheap, and I found this for cheap, and it was an XL, so I wasn't complaining. This has that clamshell design of the 3DS, but it doesn't have the XL, or not the XL, the 3DS capabilities with the 3D. However, it's got a bigger screen, it's got that added stick that we'll talk about a little bit later, and it works with amiibos and has better audio. So this, if you're gonna get 2DS versus the 2DS XL or the new 2DS XL, go with this. unless you're gonna be cheap. The other one is much cheaper, and that's a benefit as well. This thing was only like 60, 75 bucks, and most of these came paired with a game, which I love about. This came with a Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I'm gonna say Majora's Mask. It's not right, but it's Ocarina of Time now that I think about it. But this thing is awesome, it looks great, and it looks good because I only spent 80 bucks for this. Now I have two of them because I got one as a gift and I thought, I already have one. Let's keep it in there and not open it. But the 2DS's often didn't have everything that you wanted. There were some games that just won't work with these, and that's just because of how it's made. However, next I didn't have a 3DS like the regular one. I used to, but I sold it, and now I'm stuck with the XLs. So this is something that I love, and this is the NES version with the controller. I have this box. The box is down here, still on the floor. I'm still putting this room back together. It was ridiculously full when I moved those shelves, but I got this and I love it. Now the cool thing about this is you've got everything that you would expect. You've got the clamshell design, you've got stereo speakers, you got your D-pad, you got your analog stick, your A, B, X, Y, your power button, select start home, you've got a Wi-Fi capability, you have the 3D capability, you got the sound, you got an input for headphones, you got an SD card, you got a stylus, you got a card slap, and you got the L and the R. This thing's perfect. Look at this. That works perfectly. This is a bigger console than the 3DS. This is the XL, obviously, but it still fits in my pocket, and I can leave and just go do what I need to do and pull it out and play it when I'm ready and set it back in there. The screens are protected. I don't have any problem with that. The only problem would be if I dropped this really hard, if maybe I broke it. But then came along this thing. And if you look at these, there's not much difference. If you're just straight looking at it, you'll notice that there's two more buttons on the back, which are the ZL and the ZR buttons. You'll notice that that's really all it is. They did change it up a little bit. You no longer have the game card in the back there. That's been moved. And you've got a bunch of space there. On the sides, yet again, you just don't have anything on the sides of here, and you don't have anything on this side. And on the front, you have everything you need. You got the game card, the audio port, the stylus, which is a lot bigger, which I liked. It fits in your hand better, and the power button. When you open that thing up, you'll notice one glaring difference, and that is the nub right there. And their lack of start and select over here, they've been moved. So, realistically, these are very close consoles. Now, I will say the 3DX XL, this one, and then this is the 3DS XL, new, because why not do anything else? This had bad naming, and I'm explaining this. I have 4 consoles here that are all handheld. These are all awesome handheld consoles. They have terrible naming scheme. I understand the 2DS and the 3DS to say, hey, this does only 2D, this does 3D. That's awesome, I love that, that's cool. But when it gets to the 3DS versus the 3DS XL, it is noticeable. You know the difference. Okay, this is just a regular, this is the larger one. But then when you hit that new on it, like look at this box. This box is a brand new Nintendo 2DS XL. Well, really, this isn't brand new. I've owned it. I bought it from a pawn shop. You can see I paid 80 bucks for it when I did. But this was a decent deal. It came with a game and everything, so I paid pretty well for it. So, the only thing difference is the new right there. And that's, I think, very confusing for people. And I'm really hoping that Nintendo doesn't keep doing this. Now we've got the Nintendo Switch and the Switch Lite. Those are definitely noticeable. They're different. You can tell that they're a lot smaller or a lot bigger, but really they are somewhat hard to differentiate. If you didn't know, you might think the light one is just lighter and that's it. But when it comes to the 3DS line, when you're looking at the 3DS, the 3D XL, the new 3DS XL, the 2DS, the 2DS XL, and then the new 2DS XL, you're talking about 6 different consoles based on the same name, and that is very confusing, and people always have a hard time with that. So Nintendo, what are you thinking? Can you please give us something better? I think if they would have marketed this better, they might have been able to make more money off of that new Nintendo 3DS XL, and that nub is great. It works perfectly. I love these systems. I don't want you to think that I'm hating on the systems, but the naming scheme is terrible, and what was Nintendo thinking? I want to know what you guys think. Down below, comment, let me know what you think. I'm very interested. I thought this was an interesting topic just because not many people talk about it really. They just kind of complain about it and move on. So I figured, why not talk about it? The 3DS is an awesome system, and it was a topic that kind of sparked my mind, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification because it lets you know when I post more videos, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And honestly, I'm trying to do Mondays. It's just not happening right now. But with that being said, one last time, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you have a good day.